Greetings YouTube. Today I'm going to be reviewing a gaming product, one specifically designed for the 3.5 edition of Dungeons & Dragons. So if you're not into games, this video may not be for you. The book in question is the Dragon Compendium Volume 1. It was put out by Paizo Press, and sadly, because Paizo no longer has the license to Dragon, and Dragon is no longer a physically published magazine, there will not be a Volume 2, which is very sad because this is an excellent product. You'll notice that there's a little bookmark right here because I refer to this book on a regular basis because I find it a very useful reference, and it's also a good idea generator. Some of the things I really like about this book is that it took articles from the Dragon that were not 3.5 compliant and updated them to the 3.5 rules. And they scanned they went through and they had picked the articles they thought that would be interesting, that really deserved it, that could be a benefit to people who play the 3.5 set of rules. So it is a kind of a potpourri of stuff. It's not necessarily aimed at any specific theme here. It's a catch as catch you can kind of thing. And some of the things I really like about this, and there are some things in this I don't like so much. For example, we have a race in here called the Diabolus. They're devils. They have little horns, they have little tails. Everybody in the culture is proficient with the trident, though I have no idea why. They're a race of outsiders designed for people that want to play someone that looks like a devil that isn't actually a devil. And I guess I could see an attraction to that for some players. I am not that player, and I don't think I would ever use them in a game. As far as a player character race, I could see myself maybe using as an NPC, particularly if I wanted to use them to convince the player characters that they actually were a devil. You could pick the right kind of character class or or prestige class, and you could give the impression that this individual is actually a devil who's going to cut a deal for someone's soul, but in actuality, they would just be a con man. That might be useful. Then we have this Diopsid. The Diopsid are an insect race, and right there you've won my heart. I love anthro animal races, and so you throw me an insect race like the Thrycreen or this one right here, I'm going to love it. But what makes this even better is that they played up the multiple limb aspect of the insects in an interesting way. 2 legs, but 4 arms. The second set of arms, the lower set of arms, aren't as strong as the upper set of arms. Fine, I've seen that used before in different multiple arm races in the past. But what this does for this race is it gives the race the ability to use a 2-handed weapon in effectively one hand. So the person can use it here, and their lower set of arms are holding it there. And so this means that they can use 2 two-handed weapons at the same time. And they don't need the high dex that your standard person does for the 2-weapon fighting tree. Incredibly useful idea. This was awesome. I would love to use it for other races, because this race also has like a free fall ability. They have wings. They don't work well enough for flying, but it basically lets them fall without hurting themselves. They have natural armor. So there are some things in here that they have that make them a little more powerful. But if you were to strip that away and just give the multi-armor feature to a mammalian or reptilian kind of a race, it would still be cool. It would still allow someone to use 2 two-handed weapons at the same time, and that's just great. I think that's awesome. The Lupin wolf race, they're cool. In fact, that was what I was looking up in the last time I had this open, which is where the bookmark is. And the Tibbet. The Tibbet is actually a race of halfling-like creatures, short, 3 feet tall, but they can change themselves into a cat. And this is like it's their natural shape changers. And I think that's kind of a cool idea, because they're a small race and they can turn into a tiny animal that gives them a lot of stealth potential. I think that's a really cool idea. And if you give them a character class that doesn't require like hands and things and a voice, they could use their abilities in the cat form. For example, you give them a psychic ability from the expanded Psionics Handbook, and that character could rock. Then we have some full base classes. We have the Battle Dancer, which is awesome. The Battle Dancer is basically a Brazilian martial arts style dance-based monk. Chaotic in alignment, does lots of heavy tumbling, knee tumbling all the time. Dancing, tumbling, rolling, leaping, jumping, and their leap ability gets better and better and better as they get up into a higher and higher level, till eventually, I think it's like 17th level, they can actually fly. So it's a very wushu style martial arts, and I think it's wicked cool. I think it would be great to play this character. Deathmaster, necromancer kind of thing. A jester, that's kind of cool. The Montebank, which is kind of a classic thief. A savant, which is someone who's really good at a number of different tasks. The Shiar, which is an Asian, Middle Eastern themed mage. And then the Urban Druid, which is someone that uses the city itself as like the Spirit. The comic character, the Spirit, in that recently really bad movie. We have some prestige classes, and most of the prestige classes weren't really all that thrilling to me. Two I thought were pretty cool were the Force Missile Mage, which is a prestige class designed to focus a mage or a sorcerer's skill at firing magic missiles. And I think that's kind of neat. That's a classic spell, and having your character focus around that's cool. And then you have the Osteomancer, which is a prestige class designed at making your bones into weapons, and that was really interesting. Then there are also some general articles that were translated into 3.5 in here, and then there's a whole long list of monsters. But if you can get a hold of this, and they're getting harder to get a hold of because it's no longer in print and the company doesn't have a license anymore, I would definitely recommend this to anybody who likes 3.5 rules and is a fan of Dragon Magazine.